U.S. President Donald Trump is claiming Russia's President Vladimir Putin has agreed to temporarily halt strikes on some Ukrainian targets. Ukraine remains in the grip of a brutal deep freeze. Russian strikes on energy grids have knocked out power, leaving people to cope with dangerously cold conditions. Trump says he asked the Russian president for a pause in bombardments on energy targets and Ukraine's biggest cities. The CBC's Crystal Gamansing is tracking Russia's response from our London bureau.
Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov confirmed that U.S. President Donald Trump personally called to ask for a reprieve for Ukraine. Peskov said Russia was asked to stop targeting Kyiv until February 1st. He said the request was to create favorable conditions for negotiations. Yesterday, U.S. President Trump said that the request was for Russia to stop shooting for 1 week as Ukraine was struggling in a deep freeze.
We asked President Putin if they could stop the shooting for a week. They're being hit with proportionately the kind of cold that we're being hit. It's much colder in Ukraine to start off with, but it's really cold now, and he agreed to do that. We appreciated that very much. It's a nasty war. It's a nasty, nasty war.
Now, it's not clear if Russia has agreed to halt attacks on the capital, as Peskov did not outright say Russia accepted, just that the request was made. Even if there is a short, area-specific pause on strikes, Ukrainians in the capital expressed skepticism. Few believe Russian President Vladimir Putin would keep his word. For several weeks now, Ukrainians have been left in the freezing dark. Attacks on power stations across the country knocked out power to thousands. Still in the capital, more than 300 don't have heat or electricity, that according to the mayor of Kyiv. Now, warming sites have been opened up and crews have been trying to get power stations back online. But even when power is restored, it only stays on for a limited amount of time. There are just so many demands on the power grid that rolling blackouts are required. Now, that has been a situation that's been ongoing since the full-scale invasion began. Ukrainian infrastructure has been a prime target for Russia. Enduring blackouts, however, are much harder when temperatures drop to the -20 range. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelenskyy said no energy sites were attacked overnight into this morning, and he expressed gratitude for the U.S.'s efforts.
Дякую американській стороні за зусилля, щоб в цей час зупинити удари по енергетиці, і сподіваємось, що Америці вдасться це забезпечити. Є сьогодні заява президента Сполучених Штатів. Ситуація зараз вночі та цими днями, реальна ситуація на наших об'єктах енергетики, у наших містах це покаже.
Now, Zelenskyy said he is willing to reciprocate and will not strike Russian oil depots as a sign of goodwill. Peace talks between the three parties are set to continue Sunday, but it's unclear if they will go ahead as planned in Abu Dhabi. Crystal Gamansing, CBC News, London.